Jennifer Piggott voted for Trump in the November election. Then in February, she was fired from her civil service job.
Absolutely, I feel a little bit betrayed.
She was among more than 125 people dismissed last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
There's always that back and forth conversation now. It's like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives.
No kings, no tyrants, no kings, no tyrants.
The cuts have shaken up a community that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. He won West Virginia with 70% of the vote, one of his biggest victories. But the betrayal felt by Piggott, a church-going conservative and three-time Trump voter, comes as political analysts are examining early signs of a possible backlash in Republican strongholds like Parkersburg, where the government-slashing efforts of Trump and Doge are beginning to hit home.
Elon Musk has basically taken over our government and has calling the shots, unfortunately, it seems to be.
A handful of Republican voters who lost their federal jobs joined Democrats at a recent anti-Doge protest near the Bureau of Fiscal Service offices in Parkersburg. But the federal job losses in the state could soon extend beyond the BFS building, says West Virginia University economics professor John Deskins.
West Virginia is at the very top of the states in terms of the federal workforce as a share of total workforce in the state. So if the federal layoffs happen, if they hit West Virginia, we stand to suffer a disproportionate share when those jobs disappear, when that income disappears, when that spending leaves the state economy.
But in Reuters interviews with 36 workers, business owners, and politicians in Parkersburg, nearly all said that Trump's focus on cutting government spending was a worthy goal. And Reuters Ipsos polling shows Americans' attitude toward Trump are so far essentially unchanged since he began firing federal workers in February. As of this week, his approval rating was holding steady at 44%.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true. But again, I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just... So the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it.
The economic impact of the mass dismissals across America may not be immediately felt. So far, 100,000 government workers have been fired or taken a buyout. Parkersburg is bracing for another round of layoffs, with all government agencies ordered to make plans to cut career staff by March 13th.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Chugga Chugga.
Oh boy. This thing got, I did bump into it. All right, testing. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope you can hear me. I think the microphone is on. I got a green light. So I'm pretty sure you can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat room. That would be great if you would do that. Just move that over a little tiny weensy bit. It's 11:15 a.m. in the Pacific time zone here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, we're sitting at about 61 degrees, going to hit a high of 68. And I think it looks like a beautiful day, a bit breezy, but it looks like a nice day out here. So welcome, everybody. I got a thumbs up from CN, so at least one person can hear me, I guess. There's one from, looks like Amber G. Let me switch out glasses. Is switching out the glasses. All right, that's better. Much better. I see Paul Burrows was first in the chat this morning. Good to see Paul. Sugar Fatigue says, how? And I already responded to that one. That was a few hours ago. I said, I'll see you right after the House Park show. Search for You is here. Kimchi, the beautiful goddess. Kimchi is here. Left Wing Gorilla. Good to see you. And the old driver's lounge. Anthony Reminiak is here. Julie Coven says, howdy. Roxanne Armfield's here. Is here. Search for You. I'm procrastinating putting my duvet back in its cover. It's like a damn workout. Yeah, those things could be ridiculous. Those duvets. Elizabeth Liz Fernandez is here. Good to see you. Kimchi Coffee is in the back. Who was supposed to bring the donuts? I think that was you, Kimchi. I don't know. Anyhow, in regard to the opening little clip there, these Trump voters, they're finding out, and it's just like everything, though, isn't it? With these motherfuckers, these fucking maggots, these fucking so-called conservatives, they don't really give a fuck about anything until it actually directly affects them. Then all of a sudden, then they start caring. And I guess if that's what it takes, then I guess that's what it takes. But it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. Now we have to go through 4 years of this Trump bullshit. Because these dumbass motherfuckers, they voted for Trump. The one lady was a 3-time fucking voter. That's losing her job now because of Musk and Trump. My God. This is what it takes. Losing your job before you finally fucking wake up a little bit. I mean, I'm glad they're waking up, and I hope that this changes their votes, and so they don't vote for Republicans anymore, at least. And I hope they vote for Democrats. But the cost is going to be so great. So many people are going to die because they voted for Trump. Trump already has blood on his hands all over the world already. Just in 45 days that he's been president, or whatever it is. The amount of unnecessary deaths caused by this man, who knows how many thousands, tens of thousands by now, hundreds of thousands, I don't even know, all over the world. And it took them losing their jobs to finally fucking wake up. People, pull your heads out of your fucking asses. For God's sakes. We've known, most of us, I'm sure most of us in this chat room, we've known what a fucking dirtbag Donald Trump has been. We've known that for at least a decade. We knew that in 2015 as soon as he came down the escalator. And it's taken these motherfuckers 3 elections. He won 2 and he lost 1. It took them all this fucking time to finally wake up, and it took them losing their goddamn jobs. They didn't give a fuck about anybody else. These are selfish motherfuckers. They don't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. And I guess if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But what the fuck, man? Pull your heads out of your goddamn asses. Good morning. Back to the chat. Teresa TAK is here. Good to see Teresa. Good morning to you. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Chris Doug's here. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Let's see. I'm scrolling on down. Michael E. Riley's here. Says I was bringing the donuts. Then Dunkin' Donuts remodeled. Eggs are cheaper than donuts around here. Wow. Chris Doug says West Virginia, one of the poorest states in the country, overwhelmingly voted for a corrupt billionaire FAFO. Yeah, like I was saying, these dumbass motherfuckers don't give a fuck about anything until it directly relates to them. You selfish motherfuckers. Darkly Yours is here. Hey, Darkly, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the old driver's lounge. Darkly Yours says, how are y'all truckers doing this fine day in Paradiso? Something like that. Aaron West is here. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So we got one of our mods here at least. Thanks for helping me out here. Josh is here. Josh says, just checking in, loungers. Probably going to take a nap. Yeah, because it's like, what time is it there? Oh, no, Josh is not from Australia. Who's our Australia? Richard is Australian. But wherever, if you need a nap, take a nap. Paul Burrows, I have king salmon in the smokehouse. I know, Paul Burrows, you've been smoking the hell out of that salmon. Gino Maynard, greetings to you. James Williams here. Good afternoon to James. Still morning here in Vegas, but wherever you're at. Don't forget, I guess tonight, around just after midnight tonight, I don't know, 1 a.m. Sunday morning, we're supposed to spring ahead. But these days, it's not like the old days where you had to go around and reset all your clocks in the whole house. Now everything I have is all just hooked up, like my phone and my Apple Watch. So it's all done automatically. I don't even have to worry about it. I don't even have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, let's see. Anthony Romaniak says I'm the 21st thumb up. So yeah, we got 44 watching, 39 thumbs up. So a few of you have not hit that thumbs up button. So please do, if you would. That would be great. If you would do that. Chris Doug says, what a mess we got going here. And CR's here. Hey, CR, good to see you. Tawana 106, the smooth sounds of Tawana 106 is in the chat room today. Tawana 106 is saying hello. William is saying hello. Hello back at you, William. Good to see you this fine Saturday morning or afternoon, depending on where you're at. It might even be Sunday if you're in Australia. It might be Sunday already. Big Dog NC is here. Hey, Big Dog. The big dog's in the house. Who let the big dog in the house? We did. We all let the big dog in. Golf Marine says, what's up? Golf Marine. It sounded like I said Golf Marie. Golf Marine. What's up, my peoples? What's up? What's up? Marcus Mills is here. Hey, Marcus. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Josh, TJ on the Blazing Saddles set. Yeah, this is actually out in, this is Utah, out by Moab, I believe. Just, it's at that, some of the arches are, and there was one you could walk up to right from the highway there. In the background, if I move over, if I move way over and you look down there, there's my truck. That was my truck down there. Maybe it's better if I just go this way. You can see there's my truck, my old truck. I don't have, that's an old one that I had. That was a company truck. That wasn't one that I owned or anything. Hey, look at that, Joy Eldred with the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Joy. Joy, thank you so much. Yippee! There's the yippee. I think we made the goal. There we go. That was it. That was easy. We made our goal. So thank you so much for helping the show out and supporting. I'm going to give you a heart and a thumbs up and everything else. Joy Eldred, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Tuana106 says, we have the Japanese donuts here. They are much too popular. Chris Douglas, you need to mention donuts. Krispy Kreme delivers. There you go. Josh says, I want to see King of the Hill do an episode about the current administration. Do they get political? I've watched the show, but it's been years and years since I've watched it. I'm not an aficionado of the show. Do they get real political? It seemed to me, I always thought Mike Judge was a little bit right-wingy, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Or if not right-wingy, I don't know. He just doesn't strike me as being like, a true blue liberal. But maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I read him wrong. I don't know. Tuana106 says, true, Republicans literally kill people. U.S. aid was frozen and folks began to die. Absolutely. People that get that aid, they're dying. I think in Ukraine, we're already seeing people die more than usual in this war because of the way we've been cutting off Ukraine, cutting off help, not just financially, but with with intel. I mean, Philip Ibner, if you guys were watching the House Sparks show, Phil Ibner, he said that as soon as they stopped doing that, they got bombed the fuck out. Whatever, I don't know. They got really bombed a lot. And I'm sure lots of people died unnecessarily because of Trump. Trump is a fucking murderer. He's a rapist. He's a felon. And these motherfuckers in West Virginia and all other parts of the country who voted for him for 3 times and you lost your job. You know what? I don't give a fuck you lost your job. I hope you motherfuckers go broke because you deserve it. You fucking people who voted for Trump for 3 times, I don't feel sorry for you one little fucking bit. You're getting everything you deserve right now. If you're going to lose your job and then you're going to lose your houses and your cars and everything else, I don't feel sorry for you one tiny little bit. You stupid ass motherfuckers, you're getting exactly what you deserve. Other than that, I got no opinion. Rosemary Godarsky says, all right, Trucker John. Toronto106 says people in Manhattan knew Trump was a moronic piece of shit since the 1970s. Absolutely. Joy Eldred, I love Trucker John. He's so down to earth. Thank you, Joy. Thank you for that. And thank you for your super sticker. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. We got 50 watching, only 45 thumbs up. What's up with that? We got 5 slackers, I think. Is it slackers? I think is that the kids are saying these days? Slackers? Darkly yours, but eggs, yeah. Remember 2016, it was butter emails, and now it's but eggs. Michael E. Riley, if MAGA weren't suffering, they wouldn't have woke up. Right. They're woke now, aren't they? They're woke bitches now, aren't they? Hey, MAGA, you bunch of woke bitches. I just had to say that. Gina Maynard says conservatism equals it doesn't exist until it happens to you and yours. I just shake my head. I'm just shaking my head, Aaron West has the link to buy me a coffee. Yeah, you can buy me a coffee because, I like my coffee. And it's really just sort of a euphemism for sending money to support the show. It's not actually buying me a coffee. Because some people don't get hung up on that. Because some people are like, well, I don't like coffee, or do you really like coffee? Yeah, well, anyhow, you know what I mean. Big Dog says 420 somewhere. It's 420. Somewhere. You're getting baked. Roxanne Arfield says, "Oh, I don't know Amber D. I can wish bad on a whole lot of people in this day and age." That was mid-thread. That was a mid-thread comment, so I don't know what Amber D said to set that whole thing off. So, Josh says 3 a.m. is the new 2 a.m. Yeah, we'll be springing ahead. Geez, I tried to get one tissue out, and like 3 of them just came out. I feel a sneeze coming out. Oh, bless my little soul. Bless my little heart. All right. Talking about clocks, Big Dog says, I have several that have to be reset manually. Oven, microwave, coffee maker, wall clocks, and forms. I think the only one I might have to reset is the one on my microwave, which I don't even think I even set to begin with. I got my Apple Watch, and I got my phone, and that's all I use for a clock these days. Let's see. Tawada 106 says, I am born and raised by the Pacific Ocean. We live with salmon and sardines. Hey, there's Jolie. Good to see Jolie. Thanks for dropping on in. Now I believe we're at full mod capacity here. Jolie says, just wanted to drop in and say hi. Have a fun show. Back to work. I dropped a like. You should too. Thank you, Jolie. You're probably back at work by now because I think I'm at least 10 minutes behind in the chat. But thanks for being here. Hey, now look at now we got 50 watching and 55 thumbs up. So now we've tipped it. We've tipped the scales. Christina Weibel's here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on in here. James Williams he says he killed over 1 million, and now we're talking about Trump again. He says he killed over 1 million Americans last time, and you elected him again. What did everyone think was going to happen? And see, these motherfuckers that voted for him again, they were the fucking COVID deniers and vaccine deniers, and they wouldn't wear masks, and they wouldn't do any of that. So they don't even believe that probably that 1 million people died, even though all of the hospitals, they were running out of room to put the dead bodies, and they had to bring in reefer trailers to stack the dead bodies in. Still, they didn't believe it, or they said they didn't believe it, or they didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to admit it. That's how fucking brainwashed and how it's just baked in to their fucking brains, you know? They can't even admit that 1 million people died because of COVID in this country, just in this country alone. I don't know what's going on with my eyes. I know I'm not supposed to rub, but good morning. Good morning. All right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Now I'm dropping tissues. I'm making a mess. Things are falling on the floor. Things are tearing and ripping. Teresa TAK is waiting for a delivery of a new washer and dryer set. That's exciting. 2116, a million Americans remember the mass graves and mobile morgues. Yeah, I was just bringing. I don't remember the mass graves, but I do remember the mobile morgues. Do we do mass graves here in America? I don't. Maybe in other countries there are mass graves. I mean, we do that. We've done mass graves probably in slavery days and American Indian genocide days. I don't know if we did mass graves. Did we do mass graves here in America? In the U.S.? I don't remember that. But maybe we did. See, now I'm not talking about. Now I'm the one that doesn't remember. But I do remember the refrigerated trailers. Probably because I'm a trucker and I know what a reefer rig is. I've pulled those a few times here and there over my career Gino Maynard says King of the Hill is getting a reboot on Hulu this year. Didn't they just reboot Beavis and Butthead for a little while? I guess on MTV or something. I never really watched the reboot. Kimchi, I love TJ's rants. 2106 unwanted advertisement for the hotspot on Netflix. It is excellent, and you constantly see Mount Fuji. I don't know why my eye is watering or something. Sorry for all the wiping and the sneezing and the spitting. It's just one of them kind of shows, I guess. Christina Weibel says, I'm so glad I voted for Kamala Harris. Well, I am too. I'm glad you voted for her. I voted for her. I'm glad I voted for her. I just wish we would have got the goddamn result we wanted. I mean, just think, and I shouldn't do this because whenever I do this just think thing, then I go back. My head wants to explode because then I go back and I think, okay, what if Hillary had won, and how much better things would it be? What if Gore had won in 2000, like he should have? How things would have been better? And then it's like, what if Reagan hadn't cheated and lied, and used the whole Iran-Contra thing to get him elected, and Carter would have got a second. How much better things would have been. And then I go back, what if RFK hadn't been assassinated and he probably would have won the presidency? How much better things would have been. And then I'm like, well, what if JFK hadn't been assassinated and he had a second term? And just think how much, the butterfly effect of that, and how much better things would have been going forward if JFK hadn't been assassinated. So I keep going back and back and back, and my head it's like it wants to explode because it's just this never ending thing of what if, just think. And then I have to say, stop it, John, stop it, stop going into the past. We can't change the past. But just think how things would be better if even just going back a few months ago to November in the election, and if people had voted, more people had turned up. And I know we've got things about bomb threats all coming from Russia. We've got Russian involvement. I know we've got questions about Musk, and Maxine Waters is bringing that up. I know we have questions. Greg Palast saying that votes were purged on all that stuff. But still, I got to believe that if the 15 to 19 million people that voted in 2020 had showed up in 2024, I got to believe, because it was only a 1.4% difference in the popular vote, I got to believe that those 15 to 19 million extra votes would have overcome the bomb threats, would have overcome Musk's whatever involvement he had, would have overcome all the misinformation and all that kind of bullshit, all the purging. I think I just got to believe that it would have overcome that. And okay, so let's say if Kamala Harris had won, which she really should have, we wouldn't be seeing tens of thousands and potentially hundreds of thousands of people being put out of work within the first 45 days. Just told, pack your shit, get the fuck out. We wouldn't be seeing that. We wouldn't be seeing inflation already rising, unemployment already rising. We wouldn't see Russia getting making their gains that they're making, and seeing Ukraine basically be thrown at their mercy. It's just the horrible thing about it is it's just so unnecessary. Trump is so unnecessary. And these people that voted for him, and these West Virginia people that were in that video, they didn't give a fuck about any of that shit until it affected them directly. So like I said before, I don't pity you or feel sorry for you one little bit. But if Kamala Harris were president right now, all those motherfuckers would still have their jobs. They'd still have their fucking jobs. So remember that. Remember that, you fucking maggots. And if you're not a maggot but you voted for Trump and you're losing your job because of Trump and his policies that he's instituting, just remember this. If Kamala Harris had won, you wouldn't be going through this right now. You'd be going to your job, just like you have for however many years you've been working there, collecting your paychecks, paying your mortgages, paying for your cars, paying for your insurance, paying for your kids' education, paying for your next vacation, living your lives just like you've always lived. Happy, clappy. But no. Just know, all of this grief you're going through, all this hardship you're going to see, is because of Trump, and Trump only. You did this to yourselves. You did this to yourselves. Hey, Robert Perez is here. Good to see Robert. Robert says, yo, Trucker John and all woke people, it's a great freaking day until they stop my Social Security money. And that's another thing. Lots of people on Social Security. And I just wonder how many people collecting Social Security voted for Trump. How many people are about to lose their Medicaid voted for Trump? How many veterans that are going to lose care at the VA voted for Trump? How many of you did that? Raise your hands. If you're a veteran and you have VA insurance and you need care there, if you're collecting Medicare or Medicaid, there's two different programs, I realize, but they're going after both of them. If you're collecting Social Security and if you voted for Trump, raise your hand. I want to know who you are, just so I can rub it in extra hard. So when those things go away and you're out on the street and you're not getting your medications you need, you're not getting your health care you need, and you're not getting your monthly check that you need, I would like to go up to you and say, you're getting what you deserve, you stupid old fucks. You're getting what you deserve. But the sad thing about it is people like Robert, who I don't think voted for Trump, right? And other people, all of us who didn't vote for Trump, we're getting fucked over too. That's the worst thing about it. We did our part. We voted for Kamala Harris. We did the right thing. We voted for the right person. But we're going to get fucked over too, in one way or another. Whether it's through just the economy tanking in general, or whether it's through these programs that are going to be lost, jobs that are lost, we're all going to get fucked over because of you knuckleheads that voted for Trump. And I do think you should be shamed if you voted for Trump. Fuck you. Hey, Tim Farrell's here. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Thanks for joining us over here. Amber D says, started a new diet yesterday and still sticking to it today. So today I'm taking a win for me. One day at a time, Amber. One day at a time. That's a good way to go. Skipping down a little bit because I know I'm really behind. Robin M's here. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Robin says, oi, oi, hey there, TJ and all you groovies. Groovy, groovy. Hey, we're grooving along. Chris Doug says, no eggs at Trader Joe's yesterday. Well, I bought some eggs at Albertsons the other day. They were, I think, only $7.99, which is higher than what it used to be. But I think what Albertsons does, anyhow, they mark them up. It's a big markup because it'll say like regular price $11.99 or something like that, on sale for $7.99. But it's still about $3 or $4 higher than it was just a couple months ago, I think, or a few months ago. But hey, we don't. It is, but at least we got eggs. I guess the Trader Joe's. If you shop at Trader Joe's, you're shit out of luck. Darkly Yours says, remember, Trump turned around on COVID when he found out how he'd hit African Americans. Yeah, the very day, right? I think it was some sort of study came out or something came out, and that it was like the very next day or whatever. You know, I remember that. I remember that. Robin M says they don't even believe those refrigerator trucks were actually there. They are demented. Yep. All right, I'm skipping down here in the chat. Rubber Press, My Lai Massacre, Vietnam. Yeah, that was pretty awful. Yeah, those were mass graves. I guess we're talking about mass graves. Yeah, I'm behind. But I was talking about here in America, Tom Bias, mass graves for pandemics. But I just don't remember that happening here in the States. But I guess it did. I guess it did happen here in the States during COVID. Yeah, I'm talking about our recent history. I do seem there's something in my mind bouncing around where I kind of remember a story, a news story about that, but I can't remember the specifics of it. I do, but I just remember. I do remember stories about they were running out of room for the dead bodies, and they had to bring in big reefer rigs, reefer trailers, to stack them in there. I do remember that. Search for you. You've got allergies, TJ. No. Michael E. Riley just checked. Thousands were buried in mass graves. Hart Island, New York City. I think I remember. I think that's the story that I'm remembering because I thought I was thinking in my mind something about New York, somewhere in New York about a mass grave or something because of COVID. That must be the story that's bouncing around in my old noggin here. Kim Chi kind of agreed. I think is agreeing with me a bit here. Says I have no sympathy, time, or emotional bandwidth to deal with maggots. When the bad times come, they choke on their own hatred. I agree. Amber D says, I worked at a grocery store throughout COVID and I saw it all, including people attacking the trucks while unloading and fighting over TP. Yeah, it was a crazy time. Crazy time. 2106 says, to be fair, America is a racist country. The racism is literally written into the Constitution. And I think amended out, but, you know. And I do believe that we are full of racists. No doubt about it. And we fought a civil war over it. James Williams says, I lost family who died choking and alone. We couldn't even give last rites. I haven't forgotten any of them. I know, it's horrible. And my point is, these fucking maggots, they will say that you're full of it, James Williams. Basically, they're saying that you're a liar. That it didn't happen. Or that people that died, it wasn't really COVID. It was just, and they were just doctoring up the death certificates or something. Remember that? I remember that little conspiracy theory that these weren't really COVID deaths. People were just dying of heart attacks, and they were calling it COVID. You know, but the fact of the matter is, you know, we have actuary tables, and we know about how many people based on, you know, the statistics of the previous years. We know about how many people die on an average month or an average day. You could break it down probably to anything. An average minute, the average day, the average week, the average month, the average year. We know about how many people die. We know about how many people are born. That's how we get birth rates. That's how we get death rates. That's how they build actuary tables. That's what life insurance companies use. All that kind of stuff. So we know these numbers, and so we do know that during COVID, a lot more people died than what was normal. So if you just take it from that alone, just that alone should tell you how many people died from COVID, approximately. And that it was real and not fake, not a conspiracy. Teresa TAK says, my younger sister used to always want to talk a lot about politics, especially Trump. praising him up and down. It was sickening. I wanted to throw up. I know they're disgusting with the love of Trump, their love of Trump, and it's. But it's kind of, it goes both ways, I guess. Like, of course, when I see Trump, I want to puke. But there people say, but the maggots, they say the same thing about Biden, like how we hate Trump. They can't even listen or look at Biden, or even Harris for that matter, or anyone. Like, I mean, what all the shit they talk about AOC, I mean, so I guess it's like if you don't like someone, you just can't stand listening to them, I guess. Big dog with the Trump story that he always tells you. You knew I was a snake when you let me in. Yeah, it's like he's telling them. He's telling them, right? Golf Marine just got bandaged off my foot surgery. Still a ways to go. Hey, Golf Marine, I hope you heal up quick, man. Hope you heal up quick and you're out there kicking some ass. 2116, no joke. My ex SSA executive predicted Social Security would collapse in 90 days. Well, I've been hearing stories about that and it's basically because they're gutting the SSA, but by all these firings and stuff. I think that's what's going to do it. Big dog didn't see when I go to the VA. It's disgusting how many MAGA hats and vehicles. I know, and they're going to lose their benefits. And who are they going to blame? They best not be blaming Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or the Democrats in general. They best look at this current administration. All the blame, all the shit, all the hurt that's going to go down. This all needs to be put right at the feet, or the foot, the feet, doorstep of Donald Trump. This is all on him. Because I guarantee, if Kamala Harris had won, we wouldn't be seeing any of this. The veterans would not be losing their benefits. Social Security would not be threatened. Medicare and Medicaid would not be threatened. SNAP would not be getting cut in half. All these people losing their jobs would not be losing their jobs. None of this would be happening if Kamala Harris were president. None of it. So all this shit, it needs to be laid directly at the feet, the foot of Donald Trump. I know he has more than one foot, but I'm having trouble with the structure there of this, of how I'm saying it. Anyhow, I think Golf Marine threw me off with the foot story. Maybe, I don't know. Let me skip down here in the chat. James Williams, how many eligible voters didn't bother to vote? Right, well, that's what I was talking about. There's so many that and if they had voted, I think it would have overcome the purging and the misinformation and the disinformation and the bomb threats and whatever tampering Musk may have done. If everyone who was eligible to vote would have voted, and they would have voted, how they voted in 2020, replacing, Biden with Harris, of course, but if they had voted Democrat like they did in 2020, then we would not be in this situation right now. We would not be in this situation. Tracy G says, I don't give a fuck about eggs, never have, just like toilet paper during the fucking pandemic. And whether you like eggs and whether you use toilet paper to wipe your ass, I guess, I don't know, maybe you're using corn cobs. We had that conversation a few episodes ago about people using corn cobs to wipe their asses, which I had never heard of before. But anyhow, that's not the point. The point is about skyrocketing inflation and items not being available on store shelves and stuff like that. Twat106 says lower egg prices by finding a cure for H5N1, and I don't see that happening. With all the cuts Trump is making to the I don't know, like FDA and what the all the agricultural departments. Uh, it's not gonna it's not it's just gonna get exasperated. Trump is just gonna exacerbate these problems. Paul J just re-upped all my meds, Medicaid, but that's just a month worth. Yeah, you can try to stock up, but this is going to go on. This Trump debacle is going to go on for months and months and months, and possibly for the next 3-4 years. So you can only stock up so much, I guess. Non-useful, sir. Hey, non-useful. Good to see you. Is that Bell Rock behind you? I don't know. It's in Utah. It's south of Moab. It's near the Arches National Monument Park, Peggy. Yeah, Utah. It was Utah. Christina White will happy International Women's Day. This month is Women's Month, and Google has erased this. Really? Well, that sucks. Hashtag suffrage again. The fight continues. Big Dog likes the background. Yeah, that was taken on actual when I was truck driving. Like I said, if you look over which way? Oh yeah, if you look over there, down there, that's my rig that I was driving down there. That's my rig at the time. Joy Eldridge says MAGA thinks COVID was just a bad flu until they got it and died from it. But other than that, you're right. Tom Bias says there were other pandemics back in the 19th century that resulted in mass graves. Yeah, I realize that. When we were talking earlier, I was trying to think of like during COVID. I didn't recall, but I did remember. I did remember something about New York, and then someone mentioned the New York thing. So I think that's what I was thinking about. Big Dog NC says exactly, TJ. Other countries had a 40% better outcome from COVID with 1 million dead in the U.S. That means 400,000 lives cost because of incompetence, and we know that it was intentional. I mean, Trump is incompetent just in everything that he does, but his mishandling of COVID was intentional. If you listen to the Bob Woodward tapes, he admitted he was downplaying it, and he admitted all this stuff because he didn't want his popularity numbers to tank or whatever. Roxanne Epstein's here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. Thanks for being here, hanging out with us. Robert Perez says the snake is telling everyone he is the Antichrist. And by the way, it's the year of the snake. Hey, Stephanie B2. I haven't seen Stephanie B2 in ages. Thanks for coming by, hanging out with us. Stephanie B2 says, hello, dear Kimchi. I'm walking Teddy to the mailbox, so I can't chat right at the moment. We'll enjoy your walk, and thanks for dropping in. Wes Webb's here. Hey, Wes, good to see you. Greetings to you as well. Got some folks in here. Amber D says, don't fear the Reaper. Bluish Colt keeps getting stuck in my head. Don't fear the Reaper. Skipping down here in the chat. Big Dog says, I'm so old. I remember when eggs and toilet paper was so cheap, we threw them in houses. Yeah. I was watching a video, I guess this morning, a little clip on one of the socials. And I guess there was like a parade or something. It had a bunch of cyber trucks. And everyone was just booing and the whole crowd in the parade watchers. They were all booing. And at first I thought, God, if I was there, or I was thinking, boy, it would have been cool if some people had brought eggs and they could just pelt those Cybertrucks with eggs. But then I remembered, wait, well, the eggs are really expensive, so I guess no one's gonna be throwing eggs at Cybertrucks anytime soon, because unless they're, I don't know, really got the money for it. So I guess we just, booing's free, so you can boo, and also probably not illegal. Throwing eggs at cars is still, that's vandalism, I guess, and so but still, I was thinking, man, would have been funny if they would have just started pelting those Cybertrucks with eggs, and then I remembered, oh yeah, eggs are like gold right now. So, skipping on down. 72. Hey John, haven't been feeling very well. Sorry to hear that, Stephanie. I hope you get feeling better. I know you had a lot of issues, a lot of health issues. Hope you're getting those all worked out. Michael E. Riley says, non-useful. I fill pillowcases with leaves, wash them on a gentle cycle in low heat, drying. Kidding. That was mid-thread, total mid-thread, because I don't know what that was about. Roxanne, I don't feel kimchi. I've had to resort to paper towels for my drip coffee till I get to the store. 2106 says, still a Cybertruck is so but ugly. Somehow I want one. I don't suggest it. When they came out and I saw some around town, there was sometimes I would like them with a certain, if they were wrapped, usually a black wrap or a matte black wrap, and they had aftermarket tires, and from a certain angle, I thought that looks pretty cool. But then I realized, if you have to go to all of that just to make the truck look kind of cool, then it's not cool. And most of the times when I see it, like, because it's like kind of like the front angle, maybe just off to the side a little bit, it kind of looks kind of cool. And if it's black, and everything. But usually when you see it, you're going down the street and you just see this big, ugly stainless steel monstrosity that just, it's just boxy, and people call it, they say, yeah, it's just a big refrigerator on wheels, and that's kind of true. And not to mention the fact that they seem to have a propensity to catch on fire. I was just saying, I didn't watch the video, but there's a channel that I watch a lot called Out of Spec Reviews, and they do a lot of EV testing, and they test for range, and they test for all this kind of stuff. They do a lot of road tests, real life road test type of things. And the main guy on that channel, his name's Kyle something, I think. He bought a Cybertruck, and he seems to be somewhat of a Tesla fanboy, I guess. But he has all kinds of brands, and they test every brand. But he bought a Cybertruck, and I just saw he put a video out, and I think the headline was something like, something like motor problems on my Cybertruck or something like that. So even he's having troubles, and I didn't watch the video, but I mean, he's gonna have to admit that there's I don't know, that there's an issue with his Cybertruck. Nick Rich is here, the official timekeeper of the Trucker John live stream. It says 12 noon in Vegas, so I'm about 3 minutes behind you, Nick. I'm just 3 minutes behind. Tom Bias, I just thought about ketchup and ramen. Okay. Yeah, James William quoting, I always meant to downplay it. Direct quote from Trump. Kim Chi says, Roxanne Armfield. I remember those days. They make large reusable coffee filters for regular coffee makers too. Wes Webb, no, he don't drink coffee. but his parents gave him an old Mr. Coffee. I used to have the Mr. Coffee. I'm just trying to think because I know I have a lot of stuff in storage back in California, and I'm thinking I think I have a Mr. Coffee machine in storage. One day I'm going to get all my shit out of there, and I will unbox and plug in the old Mr. Coffee. Even though I have a coffee machine, like a more like a Keurig one, but you know. Maybe I'll sell it on eBay. The old Mr. Coffee. I don't know if I think I have it. Non-user says I sold my car yesterday with an incentive of 4 dozen fresh eggs from my baby. That's pretty funny. Whether it's true or not, it's still either way. It's funny. Yeah, Stephanie going through lots of hurdles trying to get her health care done, and I feel bad for you, Stephanie. I hope that all gets worked out. And this has been going on way too long, hasn't it? So I feel bad about that. Now what? Eggs might break a window on those trucks. Or now what is saying that? Not now what? I read that like that was part of the sentence. But there's a person called Now What. Thank you, Now What, by the way, for being here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, if you would, and subscribe. Hey, man, we're over 3,800 subscribers. Really trying to get to 4,000. Really, really, really want to see 4,000. So make sure you guys subscribe. James Williams sounds like college in the 70s, Tom. What did Tom say? Oh, ketchup and ramen, yeah. All the things you do in college when you have like zero budget. Roxanne Armfield, my Mr. Coffee stopped working, so drip coffee it is. I don't know, but whenever I go to my kid's house, they have one of those French press things, and I think that's like some of the best coffee I've ever had. Is when I go to their house and they make that coffee with the French press, I think it's called. So I think I want to get me one of those French press things. I like that coffee. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. Thank you very much for being here, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is wishing everyone a happy Saturday. Kim Shee says, "Oh my God, I'm redoing my room in Bohemian Dark Witch. I guess the old style was Electric Goofy Witchy. Witchy?" Melissa Brzezinski's here. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Yeah, it sucks. I'm not sure what. I'm so far behind in the chat. I don't know what that refers to. Nick Rich says, "Have you seen the Tilo truck? Solar panels 2. The Tilo truck? I have not. I haven't seen that." Stephanie B2 says, "Teddy's helping me stay positive." That's what pets are for, right? Like they are our little buddies, and they help us. Sometimes help us just to stay sane. Wes Webb, I'm still looking. Everything about EVs is up for grabs at the moment. Might look at more hybrids. There's some good hybrids out there, that's for sure. Like last night, with the taxi company that I'm driving for, most of those cars are hybrids. I think they're all hybrid. Well, I don't know if the vans are, but like the Camrys, and then they have some Priuses, they have Camrys, they have RAV4s. I think they're all hybrids. Like last night, I drove about 10 hours yesterday, and I think I used like an eighth of a tank of gas. Joy Eldridge says, "Anyone know what the spat between Elon Musk and Marco Rubio was about?" I don't know. I think Hal or somebody brought that up this morning. I thought I heard somebody else bring it up, but I haven't heard the details of it. Big Dog says he just looked up the Tilo truck and he thinks it looks funny. So Golf Marine says, I just tried Safeway coffee because I couldn't get a Costco store brand coffee. Wait, because I couldn't get to Costco. Store brand is a good bet. Anthony Reminiak says, West Webb, I think for the next 5 years, hybrid will be the way to go till some more kinks are ironed out of the full EVs. And that's what I tell a lot of people too. Like if I have passengers and especially when I was doing rideshare, and we talk because I was driving the Tesla Model 3. And so we would get into these conversations about EVs and stuff like that. And people were like, well, I'm not sure if I want to go into an EV right now, and because of charging, and it usually came down to charging and the range anxiety and all that kind of stuff. And so I would tell them, yeah, well, if you're not ready, a good way to go is the hybrid, because you're going to save a lot on fuel, and it's a good sort of gateway or a path to EVs. And then and I told them, and probably you might be better waiting 5 years or so, or 5 or 6 or 7 years, for the technology just will be that much better in the EVs. In 5 to 10 years, it's going to be so much better than it is now. So it might be, if you're not ready to go, a hybrid is probably the best way to go. If you're looking for fuel economy, and if you are someone who is concerned about the environment and having a smaller, fossil footprint, then an EV is a good way to go. And I've always told people that. Let's see. Joy Eldred says, in college we bought boxes of fish sticks for 99 cents. I have never eaten fish sticks since then, or hamburger helper for that matter. Yeah, all those things. Yeah, fish sticks, all the ramen noodles, those little cups. Sometimes I still buy those because I used to buy them in the truck because they would be easy to just add hot water, because I had a little thing where I could plug it into the lighter and get hot water. So I when I was driving, sometimes I would get those cup of noodle things or whatever. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Stephanie B2 says we have a hybrid and love it. Chris Doug says, I have 1-cup French press. Great when I don't want to use a fancy coffee machine. Amber D says, I have a percolator, but I would probably like the French press too. Golf Marine says, eating dandelion greens right now in my eggs, bacon, greens scramble. But James is kind of, reminding us that dandelions are an invasive species brought to America by the Pilgrims as a food source. Tom Bias says Rubio was against Elmo firing his agency. And then Robin says, from the other point of view, I guess Musk is pissed Rubio isn't firing his State Department staff. And it's so ridiculous. All these firings, all it does is create, horrible. Times for the workers. It's not cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. It's not. I mean, the whole idea, what Musk and Trump claim, is that they're trying to save, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, and they want to cut trillions of dollars from the budget. This isn't doing that. They've only cut just a tiny, minuscule little part away from the budget, and it's not going to do anything to improve the economy, or it's just a ruse again, just because they want to cut taxes for the rich, and so they're trying to find money by cutting these other things so they can say, hey, we can drop taxes for the rich. It's all it's about. That's the whole thing. That's all this is about, and it always comes back to that, about cutting taxes on the rich, because God forbid they should pay taxes. Oh, Roxanne Arfield, this has been great, everyone, but I need to bid you a fond farewell. All right, Roxanne, thanks for coming by and hanging out with us a bit, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, which should be Tuesday. The next Trucker John live stream. The Soul Craft is here. I love some cheeseburger helper. Last night I had an In-N-Out burger for my dinner. Love me In-N-Out. Golf Marine says no more complete win-win than consumer dandelion greens. Enrich yourself. I don't think I've ever eaten a dandelion or anything like that. I didn't even know they were edible, to tell the truth. I thought they were poisonous. I just thought stuff like that was poisonous. So I'm just like, because like I always say, don't eat those little red berries off of these certain things or whatever. So I'm not eating nothing. Anything that's growing out and popping out of my lawn, I'm not eating it. You know what I mean? Nick Rich says, I buy whatever's on sale, produce, canned goods, dairy things, else got dollar, got to save somewhere. MJ Daniel says, pigs are an invasive species brought here by Europeans, and they also are delicious, too. Hey, there's 12B10 Demo Man says, Rubio reminds me of Dopey, the dwarf from Snow White. Yeah, I see that. I can see that. I can see that. 12B10 Demo Man, check out the ears. I don't know who's you're talking about. My ears. Look at those beautiful ears of mine. Look at that, beautiful ears. Darkly Yours says Gulf Marine dandelion is great medicine for alcoholics. It helps your liver and reduces the amount of poison created by breaking down alcohol. Wow, I never knew this about dandelions. I never knew they were this like wonder foliage or whatever you call it. MJ Daniels says a huge swindle by American oligarchs to bring another gilded age. But still, it all comes down to taxes. It all comes down to that. That's the number one goal, is for them to just have no taxes. And speaking of taxes, Wes Webb says he's working on his taxes right now. Oh, money, that's going to make me a good chunk poorer. Darkly Yours, every part of the dandelion is edible. I never knew. Who knew? Apparently me. MJ Daniel, the rabbits living around our house love dandelion. Well, that's rabbits, of course. That's animals. They love that kind of shit, Soulcraft smells like onions. 12B10 Demo Man says rabbit, great meat source. Lucky you. Well, I guess. Non-useful French press went up 25%. Uh-oh. Tariffs. Gulf Marine, I started doing greens when I needed to lose 100 pounds. Then I found out dandelion greens outclassed spinach and mustard greens in nutrition. I feel like I've learned a whole new thing about dandelions today. Gino Maynard chewed dandelion stalks on the fish banks as a kid. Darkly Yours tried fried dandelion flowers, salad greens, or root tea. Wow. I never would have thought. I never would think about, hey, I'm going to eat this wild weed that's growing in my yard type of thing. I never crossed my mind until today. Carol Lana chiming in. Dandelion greens are very nutritious. I actually picked mine to eat in salads. Haven't you heard of dandelion wine? No. I've not heard of any of this dandelion bullshit. I'm not going to eat weeds. Wes Webb says, when I was in Scouts, we had this old guy who would teach us foraging. Well, I was never a Scout, so, or at least not for very long. I had short stints of Weeblos and Cub Scouts, but we moved around so much I could never stick. So it never stuck. Tom Bias, Ruby reminds me of Levitt from Barney Miller. That show's so old, I don't even remember the characters other than Abe Vigoda. Is he still alive, by the way? I think he is. MJ Daniel, our store is doing major remodel and have a lot of things discounted. Just got a frozen chocolate cheesecake for $4.95. Now you're talking. Now you're talking my language. You had me at chocolate cheesecake. Chris Doug, I drink roasted dandelion root tea, highly medicinal for the liver. All right. Carolina, I'm sorting through 5 plastic banker boxes of files, burning old stuff so I can do taxes. Robin M says survival greens as long as they're not treated with an herbicide. There you go. You got to watch out for that. Gina Maynard, John is calling us trash pandas. No, I'm not. I'm just saying I never heard of this dandelion you speak of for eating and drinking and whatever. MJ Daniels, sad sack is an older term that is perfect for little sippy cup Rubio. Wes Webb, there's a book by Ray Bradbury, collection of stories called Dandelion Wine. Soulcraft says in the South we like muscadine wine, very sweet grape. Well, see, that's a grape. That's what wine is supposed to be made out of. Grapes. Diane Russell's here. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in. Diane says you can dry the roots and grind them up for a coffee substitute. Something I know I will never do. Guys, I know I will never do any of this shit. I'm not the kind of guy who grinds things up and puts them in food and shit like that. I'm sorry. But the cooking that I do is I make myself like omelets and pancakes out of the type of batter. All you got to do is add water. That's the extent, maybe. A grilled cheese sandwich, macaroni and cheese. A lot of cheese. Yeah, maybe sensing a problem here. Cheeseburgers. I cook cheeseburgers. I actually cook my own cheeseburgers. Things that I can microwave. That's the extent of it. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go out foraging and grinding things up and boiling things, and I just don't do that shit. That just ain't how Trucker John rolls. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. MJ Daniel, heck no, he died in the 80s, I think. Barney Miller was a really funny show. I think Abe Vigoda, if he's dead, he just died recently. Abe Vigoda lived a long time, because that became a running joke. Like, is this guy still alive? Because he was still alive, but he may have died, and if he died, it was within the last few years. Carolina, who was that guy who ate all sorts of stuff? Tastes like wild hootenanny. Wasn't that? Yeah, that one dude. Oh, the name was on the tip of my tongue, and I lost it. Anyhow, Tom Bias says Abe Vigoda passed away a couple years ago. Yeah, so because before that was the joke. Is like, this guy's still alive, and then now he's not. But not unusual. Every year I pick about 8 pounds of morels from my 3-acre forest. You guys in the picking. I'm not a picker. I'm not a food picker. I'm not a forager. Sorry. This ain't my thing, man. That ain't my thing. Drunk Leor says, I'm sorry for going on, but I love mutualistic species. Dandelions are part of the human ecosystem that has followed us around the world. They are like skull spiders or cats. They just work with us. Hey man, whatever turns you guys on. If you like foraging and picking things out of the ground and eating them, more power to you. That's just not my thing, man. Uh, Joy Eldred, Ava Goda died in 2016. Thank you, Joy, for that update. This just in, Ava Goda is dead. I was listening to the video about the New Mexico, whatever sheriff's department or whoever it was, about the Gene Hackman and his wife and his dog death. They they did autopsies. Gene Hackman was in an advanced stage of Alzheimer's. He had multiple heart surgeries, and he had a hypertension, high blood pressure. He had all kinds of things going on. They said he was not in very good shape physically. Of course, 95 years old, so you know. The wife, who was 30 years younger, they think that she died from the Hunta virus. Like Hunta, I always said Hunta, but they said Hunta virus, which is a person catches that from rodent feces. Uh, so she came down with that. It looks like, from what they were saying, that she died first, succumbed to the Hunta virus. I guess it's Hunta. I always thought it was Hunta, but anyhow, and that he may have collapsed and died after that, because he did have a pacemaker, I believe, and they were able to get some readout on that, where the last heartbeats was, because see, I guess on February 11th, that's the last they ever heard of from the wife. Like that's when she went through the security gate of their gated community, and after that there was like no emails, there was nothing from her after the 11th. So they think she died somewhere right after the 11th. On Gene Hackman, they detected there was a heartbeat through his pacemaker, I think on the 17th. So that was like 7 days later. So they think she died from the Hunta virus. They think he died just because from Alzheimer's, and he had bad heart, bad ticker, pulmonary diseases and stuff like that. So he just died. But he may have been alive, probably was alive, like after his wife probably collapsed and died, was laying there, but he's in advanced stage of Alzheimer's. He probably doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't, who knows what his state was. And then he ends up dying, falling and dying and stuff. And then I guess the dog was now they're saying it was in a crate. All the stories I heard before, that they found the dog in a closet. Well, now they're saying it was crated, because I guess the dog had something going on. They had taken it to the vet, and there was some issue with the dog, and it was being medicated, and I forget what it was, so it was stuck in the crate, and of course, I guess it probably just starved to death or something. But so anyhow, that's the update on Gene Hackman and that whole thing, as best as I could do it, which is not very good. Mr. Spock's here. Hey, Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. I'm so bad at this thing, but I don't know. Live long and prosper. And says Ava Goda and Eric Estrada in Fish and Chips Thursday at 9 on SCTV. Tom Bias, I'm not eating weeds out of my yard. Well, to me, a dandelion's a weed. It's in the yard. I'm not eating it. Sorry. Like I said, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't grind things and boil things and find things I just don't do that. But if that's what you like to do, then more power to you. More power to you. It's just not my thing. Wes Webb, dead. Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. Remember that old SNL joke? Going way back. Diane Russell, we call them weeds, but they are plants and they are edible. All right. Wes Webb, wife died first. They should have had helpers, but they didn't. So, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Robin M says, I met Gene Hackman, was an extra on Lucky Lady. He was a nice man, smoked a J with Burt Reynolds then, too. There you go. Yeah, I think Gene Hackman seemed like a cool dude, and I liked his movies. The movies. I can't think of a movie that he was in that I didn't like. He was always good. You know, Diane Russell, such a sad ending for an amazing actor. But just the fact that he lived to be 95, I think that's kind of amazing. And when you get that old and you have all the health conditions that he had, it's it's not surprising, I guess. But like Wes says, they should have had some uh, health care, an in-home healthcare provider or whatever. They had the money, certainly. I'm sure he had plenty of money. But the wife was 30 years younger, so she was probably, taking care of him. She probably felt that she could do it, and she probably was doing a fine job until she came down with the Hunta virus. Hunta virus. I've always said Junta. I don't know why. I've heard of the Hunta virus. It's very common. It's pretty common. I mean, where I lived in the desert in California, there was some stories every now and then. Every now and then, you would hear a story about someone dying from the Hunta virus, and so that's why I already knew that was from rodent feces. And so you have to be very careful if you're cleaning up an area that has rat droppings and it's not well ventilated area. I mean, you have to be careful how you clean that up because it could be carrying the Hunta virus. So, and I guess she got close to an area that had some. Now they did say in that report or in that press conference or whatever that the house didn't really show any. The house was very clean and it didn't show um, any like rat droppings or mouse droppings or anything like that. But there were I guess some outbuildings or some sheds or other buildings that did because they were, because those are they're outbuildings, they're like they're like little sheds or whatever. So maybe she was out in the shed getting something or doing something, or maybe she was cleaning something up out there, and that's where she got it. And if it's untreated, see, a lot of people when they do get it, at first they just think it's a cold or a flu, and then if they don't get any treatment for it, it's almost like a 50% uh, chances that you're going to die. It was a 36 to 50% chance of dying. So it's from 1/3 to a half. Like a coin flip there that you're going to die, and so I guess she didn't. And then she said the doctor who explained this said that in those last like 24 to 48 hours after you've got these flu-like symptoms, then during the last 24 to 48 hours liquid starts like filling in your lungs or something like that. And if it's untreated and you're still thinking you have a really bad flu or a cold and you don't go to the doctor for it and you've got hantavirus, then you're going to collapse. And that's what happened. That she finally just collapsed and she died, from the goddamn hantavirus. So, but she was, other than that, she was probably in relatively good health before she got that. And she probably, she's 30 years younger. She was 65. He was 95. So she probably felt she could take care of him, and they didn't need to hire any type of in-home service or whatever. But hindsight being what it is, maybe they should have. But that's what hindsight is, It's 2020. Mr. Spock, he was good in Mississippi Burning. He was good in The French Connection, dude. He was good in everything. The Unforgiven, yeah. Soulcraft, Little Bill was a badass. Chris Doug, Gene as Royal Tenenbaum, Pure for that was a great role. Great, yeah, every movie you're going to bring up, it's probably going to be a really great role there, and memorable. Wes Webb says, yeah, very sad. A lesson for all of us: have plans. Yeah, if nothing else, then the rest of us should be learning from their mistakes, I guess. Carolina, yes, the French Connection was epic. That car chase, they actually did the whole chase against approval from NYPD. Wow, really? That's crazy. Golf and Marine, Royal Tenenbaums was a great film. Yeah, it was. Dr. Yours, hantavirus is a point for cat lovers. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but the hantavirus is only from rodents. It's not from cats. And animals don't get it. It's only transferred to humans. Joy Eldred, did the dog who died starve to death? Well, I kind of speculated that they didn't, because someone asked that at the press conference, and um, they didn't answer that because they said the neck, what do you call it, necropsy, the neck, that's like an autopsy for a dog or for an animal, the necropsy. I guess hadn't really come back yet, or didn't have final um, findings on that yet. So they didn't say, but I kind of speculated that he did. But they did say something about that the dog had been to the vet for some, and I forget what it was for, and that's why it was crated, because maybe that was why it was crated, because the dog was having some kind of issue that it was going through. Um, and I think they had gotten maybe some pet medicines for it. I'm not sure, but there was a talk about it, the dog being seen at the vet recently. Uh, Chris Doug, The Conversation, 1974, with Gene Hackman, Harrison Ford, Frederick Forrest, and Cindy Williams, a must-see. Way befits time. Tom Bias, what if the rats set them down carefully and didn't drop them? But non-useful, Gene Hackman in Birdcage. Yeah, I mean, great roles, great performances. I mean, I remember back in Bonnie and Clyde, you know. Troy Eldridge, Chris Duggo, yes, I totally forgot about The Conversation. That was an excellent movie. Carolina, Huntavirus. They're pronouncing it Huntavirus. I always thought it was Huntavirus. But anyhow, I think is only out west. I had a pack rat get in motorhome in Colorado while I was gone moving 1 month. What a mess! I went full hazmat protocol to clean up. Yeah, yeah. They're saying use a 10% bleach, solution, or disinfect it. You might want to mask up. Might want to wear gloves. Make sure the area is well ventilated. All that kind of stuff. Dr. Lior says, I love John because he is like the good uncle that kind of gets me but doesn't quite understand all the things I say. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, TB well laid. I don't know what that means. Carolina, almost forgot about the Birdcage. That's the funniest comedy ever. Yeah, so he was in great movies, great actor. That's how we'll remember him. We're not gonna, that's how you remember people, right? For what they did in their prime or whatever, and that's the way he should be remembered. But remember that we all get old, and if we're lucky enough to live to be 95, we'll be, all stooped over and with pacemakers or whatever, just like Gene Hackman was probably. So, there's no shame. There's no shame in getting old. If you're fortunate enough to live that long, then that's just the way it goes. We're going to get old and decrepit and whatever. So, it is what it is. There's no shame in getting old. He got old and he died. Unfortunately, his wife got this hantavirus. That's the sad thing, because she was only 65. She had probably another 20 or 30 years left in her, right? And I think, by all reports, I think she was in relatively good health. So if it wasn't for that stupid hantavirus, and if she hadn't died, okay, so if she hadn't had that, then maybe if Gene Hackman was having some sort of issue, she would have got him to the doctor. Blah blah blah. That's the whole thing. You're going back with what if, what if, what if. But the sad thing, well, I guess my point was that it's more sad that she died because she still had some years left in her. Gene Hackman, let's face it, he was pretty much at the end. 95, had multiple heart surgeries, and he had high blood pressure and what do you call it, arteriosclerosis or whatever. All the stuff they mentioned that he had. I mean, the guy was living on borrowed time, I think. So God bless him, and he's a great guy. He seems, by all accounts, a great guy, nice guy, and and we've seen his body of work, and we all, I think, is pretty much most of us in here remember him fondly and for the work he did in the movies that he did. So, but like I said, I think he was on borrowed time, so he got his money's worth as far as his life. But the wife, that's pretty sad because, like I said, she might have had another 20 or 30 years left in her. And then the dog, of course, we love our dogs, we love our pets. I feel sorry for the dog, but it is what it is. Wes Webb, I guess, is 68. Wes Webb, you got another 20 or 30 years left in you, buddy. Come on now. Big dog, it's been a hell of a ride so far. David in Grand Prairie, Texas, what the hell is that? Laughing out loud, it is what it is. What the hell is it? Laughing out loud. It is what it is. What the hell is that? What in 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 the hell is that? Oh. And scene. Thank you. All right. Getting back to COVID-19, Non-Useful says, COVID-19, as of March 4th, 2025, we estimate that COVID-19 infections are growing or likely growing in 3 states. Thank you, Donald Trump. I'm just going to blame everything on Donald Trump. Because whatever happens, he's not going to handle it right. So. Tom Bias makes me want to smoke more marijuana. Diane Russell, tell me about it, Nick Rich. I'll be 80 in May. The big 80. Congratulations, Diane Russell. Aaron West, I gotta head out. Thanks for behaving yourselves. You all make my job easy. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you for coming by. I think we can trust. I think I can trust them. We're not being overrun with trolls today. Looks like so. But thank you, Aaron, for all your help. John Deff, I'm 62 today. Well, happy birthday, John Deff. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, John Deff. Happy birthday, John Deff. Happy birthday, John Deff. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Wes Webb, I don't want another 20 to 30 unless they can cure what ails me. Well, they might. I don't know. Hal Sparks is always talking about these wonder drugs and wonder bots or wonder nano things. Maybe that'll get some of this. Just get you some of that. I don't know. Get you some. Got to get you some. And on the way out, Aaron West reminds us that Trucker John, that would be me, has channel memberships, super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. And you can go over and buy me a coffee, all that kind of stuff. And I also have PayPal. It's in the description, I think. If you want to help the show, help us grow, help us get better, let's get to 4,000 subscriptions. That's what I want, guys. 4,000. If there's any way you guys can help me get to 4K, that'd be awesome. Share the show, spread the word. Make sure everyone you know knows about the Truckers on live stream. Let's get to 4K. 4K all the way. If we get to 4,000 subscribers, I will eat a dandelion. How's that? All right, and I'm not really into it. I'm almost afraid of what I just said. When we get to 4K, and let's say if we do it within the next, like, I don't know, couple months or something. If it's 20 years from now, then the deal's off. But if I get to 4K within the next, I don't know, a couple months or something, and you guys can hold me to this, I'll eat a fucking dandelion right here on the show, on the air, over the air. I'll eat a dandelion. I'll have to go find one, but I'll get one. And hopefully it doesn't kill me. I'm trusting you guys. You say these things are edible. We get to 4K, I'll eat a goddamn dandelion on the fucking show. How's that? How's that? Non-useful measles reported in 9 states. Thank you very much, RFK Jr. and Trump. All this shit is going to go right back to them. Fancy's here. Hey, Fancy, good to see you. Don't think I saw Fancy earlier, so thanks for being here. Diane Russell, 1963. That was the year I graduated from high school, John Depp, laughing out loud. That was the year that I turned 3. Diane Russell, I read that symptoms of hantavirus may not show up for a couple of months. Wow. Yeah, so who knows how long she might have been carrying it. Darkly yours, best B-Day wishes. I'm terrified about turning 40, especially since this has been a brutal decade of the 30s. It's not that bad. Hey, look, I'd give my right nut to be 40 again. I'm 64 and a half. I'd give my right nut to be fucking 40 again, all right? Carolina, Tuesday, I'm going to my health department to get measles and other vaccinations, hoping to travel later in September. Fingers crossed. Well, I hope that all goes well with you, with those vaccinations and the traveling. It sounds like fun. Carolina, I'm 72. The big 7-2. You got some time left in you, Carol. You got plenty of time left in you. Plenty of decades left. We're gonna have to put up with you, Carol, for a long time. Fancy gifted a Trucker John membership. Thank you, Fancy. Fancy gets a yippee, yippee. Thanks for helping the show, helping us grow. And Karen Cooney got that. And I don't think I've ever seen in the chat. So maybe Karen will show up someday and just say hi to us and get to know us and fall in love with us and never leave. And we'll subscribe. Well, I guess she's already a subscriber. I don't know. You guys heard my deal about the 4K. Soul crap by the end of spring. Okay, yeah, okay. By the end of spring, if we don't hit 4K by the end of spring, I don't know. Was that 3 months from now? All right, okay. By the end of spring, Nick Rich, John is so brave. David in Grand Prairie, Texas, 4,000 subs and truck stop shower chat too. No, just the dandelions. I'm drawing the line there. West Web, wash it. I will wash it. I might even boil it. I don't know. I might make a cup of tea out of it. Who knows? Fancy, I'd rather see you eat one of those giant pizzas. Well, Fancy, if you'd been earlier, we had quite the conversation about dandelions. So that's where the dandelion thing came up. John Depp, make sure it's edible. Well, people in this chat have been assuring me that they're edible. And they said they made wine out of it. They made tea out of it. They made coffee out of it. They put it in their salads. They fucking snort the shit. I guess. I don't know, but according to the people in this chat, they are edible. And they wouldn't. You guys wouldn't lie to me, would you? You wouldn't steer me wrong, would you? Oh, not. Just Doug, I'd rather eat a taco. Maybe I'll put it in a taco. I might get a taco and put the goddamn dandelion in my taco just to make it palatable. Yakety smack is here. Hey, yakety smack, don't talk back. Does everyone always say that when your name pops up? Do they always go, yakety smack, don't talk back? It's either that or I have the Benny Hill theme music in my head. That that type of thing. But yeah, it says hi, mother effing Saturday. Well, hi, mother effing back at you. Big Dog says, okay, but when you get to 5,000, you have to eat a magic mushroom. Well, I might not be too opposed to that. I might not be too opposed to that one. So I'm biased. I like Fancy Suggestion, one of those $100 pizzas like you had a slice of last week. Well, it wasn't $100. All right. I think a whole pizza is like, I don't even know. What was it, $30, $40, whatever it was? Darkly yours. That actually means a lot. Thanks, TJ. You're welcome. Non-Musical says Greenland lost 52 soldiers fighting alongside the U.S. in Afghanistan. Now they feel threatened by Trump. Thank you. Thank your local maggot. I know. Donald Trump is despicable. The sooner we can get him out, the better. The sooner he is out of office and basically and really just out of our hair and out of existence, the better. This world will be when he leaves this earth, when he leaves this mortal coral, whatever you call it, coral. No, I know I'm saying that wrong. This world will be so much better, and I'm not even kidding. Because you think out of 8 billion people, what can one man do? What difference does it make if one man, one person isn't here? And there's a few. If the world will be better once Vladimir Putin is off this planet, is gone, and the world will be so much better when Trump is gone. And I'm sure there's a handful of others too. That this place will be so much better once they're gone. Now, of course, who's going to fill the vacuum? Well, I am. Hopefully, we can fill the vacuum with some people that are at least halfway decent. I would settle for halfway decent at this point. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. You don't have to be doing that. Just be halfway fucking decent, and you will be immeasurably better than Trump or Putin or any of those assholes. Chris Doug says, if you get to 4,000, I'll happily eat a box of fudge. Yakety smack, we ate dandelions as kids. Non-useful dandelion wine will fuck you up. Chris Doug, dandelion tacos. Now the entire taco, it's going to be like your regular basic Casa del Sabor steak taco, which I love, with a dandelion stuck on top of it. I think I can get through the dandelion and get to the deliciousness of the Casa del Sabor taco. Carolina, no lie zone here, TJ. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, it's nice to see Trucker John off the streets and live streaming. Don't tell him. Okay. Joy Eldred, now I have the Benny Hill song stuck in my head. That's what happens. Whenever I see the Yakety Smack, the Benny Hill song goes right to my head. Fancy, go to that place that has those giant pizzas in Vegas. I don't even remember what places we're talking about with the giant pizzas. But anyhow, I'll find one. That's if we get to 6,000. 4,000 is dandelion. 5,000 is magic mushrooms, and 6,000 will be the giant pizza. Am I supposed to eat the whole pizza myself? Is that the deal? Is that the trick? The thing? I don't want to puke. Don't make me puke, Fancy. Tom Bias, that was an $8 slice. Something like that. West Webb, let alone who subscribes. I'm betting that everybody here has subscribed. That's why you guys need to share the show. And you need to make banners and flyers. Go to the local FedEx store, invest a little money. I'm just kidding. But, make bumper stickers that says, watch the Trucker John live stream. Make your own T-shirts. Make hats. Buy a billboard in your local town that says, watch Trucker John channel on YouTube. All that kind of stuff you guys could be doing. And I'm only joking because I know that's not how it really works. But, I don't know, like, subscribe, share, help get the show out through the algorithm, I guess, is what really, and that's free basically. Unless you buy a membership or you buy a super sticker, then that's a little bit of an investment, a little bit of cost. But if you're sharing, like if you're talking in the chat, I think that gets us in the algorithm. Your thumbs ups helps us get into the algorithm. And if you hit the share button and you share that to your social medias, I guess that gets the word out. Those are relatively free. But if you want to buy a billboard, put Trucker John live stream on YouTube, and put a picture of my beautiful face up on it, knock yourself out. I'm all for it. Mortal Coil. What was I saying? Coral? Yeah, I'm so smart. I know how to say stuff. Oh yeah, I'm well educated. My AA degree is really coming up, really showing how polished I am. Tell him what's 8x8? I don't know. 8 times 8 is 64. I guess it'd be a $64 pizza. I don't know. But that wasn't the giant. I don't think that wasn't the Pizza Rock pizza slice. Wasn't the place that had giant pizzas. I don't think. Maybe it was the Joe's New York Pizza or something. I don't know. Fancy. If you can remember what place we're talking about that has giant pizzas, let me know because I don't remember. Non-useful rhubarb leaves are, I guess, deadly. Darkly Yours says Donald J. Trump is the only person I have ever wished simply not exist. Mr. Spock, would be funny if Air Force One went down because of cutbacks. I'm not sure how funny it would be because there's pilots, there's other people in there. I'm not sure they all deserve to die, But I was thinking that, like, when he was doing a little gaggle or whatever from inside the plane as they were flying, and his thing's bouncing around, and he goes, "Ooh, that was a big one," And I was the thought kind of went through my mind, like, I wonder, because Donald Trump isn't really known for his upkeep, and I wonder how he's making sure that the plane's being kept up the way it should be. And if they've made cuts in that department, I know in the FAA overall, but in the actual Air Force One, I wonder, have they made cuts there? And if it is, it's to his own detriment, That's how stupid he is. I mean, he thought I was stupid because I couldn't say coil. I was mixing it up with coral. If you think that's stupid, then you should just watch Donald Trump for a bit. Talk about stupid. Fancy, yes, you have to eat the whole pizza. All right. That's at, was that 6K? That's 6K. 5K is the mushrooms, magic mushrooms. So we're already locked these things in. 4K is the dandelion. You guys have to hold me to this because I'll probably forget. 5K is the mushrooms. 6K will be a whole pizza. And I might even put some dandelions and some magic mushrooms on the pizza. How's that? Remind me to lock myself in if I do the mushrooms, because I haven't done any mushrooms in like 40 years, probably. So who knows what's going to happen if I did that. Non-useful says, Trucker, my 91-year-old mother says element number 82 will destroy the cancer. I have no idea what that is. I got no idea. Dr. Leor says, giant pizza with magic mushroom. You will definitely puke and go back for more. Mr. Bob Newell, would you drive a Tesla? Well, I've driven them many times. Many times. For 18 months, I drove a Tesla. Non-useful is gifted 5 Trucker John memberships. Thank you, non-useful. Thank you so much. Yippee to non-useful for gifting these memberships. Maybe this will help grow the show. We're trying to get to 4K. I think you guys really want me to get to 4K and get to those other milestones, because I think you want to see me eat a dandelion. You want to see me eat magic mushrooms. And you want to see me eat a giant pizza. I really think you do. You do. And look at here. Diane in Chicago got one of those memberships. And Unroped 48 got one. I would love Unroped Nope 48 to come in here just so we could find out what that means. Marnie got a membership. Juliana Dongu got one. And Cinnamon got one. All from non-useful. Thank you, non-useful. Appreciate you with that. Hey, look at that. I looked down. We're over 107 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys. I think the thumbs ups help to get us out into the algorithm, and maybe that helps get subs. I want to get subs. If anyone's ever wondering, like, what should I get John for Christmas? What should I get John for his birthday? What should I get John for Easter? What should I get John for St. Patrick's Day? Answer, subscriptions. MJ Daniel says, my dream is something like the Naked Gun scene where Reggie Jackson is going to kill the queen and the woman falls on him. DJT has a massive heart attack and falls on Vance and Johnson. That's not well, yeah. That's not just a dream, my friend. No. Fancy, I never ate those. I'd be afraid. Are you talking about the dandelions? I was too. But I've been assured by almost everyone in the chat that they're edible. Dr. Yours, I'm also sometimes not in useful chat. I don't know. Hey, Robin M., welcome to Driver. Robin M., thank you so much. Robin M., yippee, for becoming a member, becoming a driver. So we got the memberships. Memberships are great too. Thank you so much. Great way to support the show. Keep us going and growing. Mr. Bob Newell says, get the good. Wait, do you prefer thin, crispy crust pizza or shrooms? I like a lot. I like all kinds of pizzas. I do kind of tend toward the thin crust or a New York style, but I have nothing against the Chicago style. I really like, if you guys ever had numero uno, it's a real, I don't know if that is considered Chicago style, but it's a thick, kind of more of a thick crust. I like those, but I'm not picky. Some people, it's like, it's got to be New York style, really thin and greasy, and otherwise nothing. And I'm not that way. I'm not that kind of person. I like thin crust. I like crispy crust. I like chewy crust. I like thick crust. I like all kinds of toppings. For God's sakes, I even like pineapple on my pizza. And to some people, that's like sacrilegious. I'm not that way. I like all kinds of different things. But I don't like dandelions per se. Not that I would know. I don't think I've ever eaten a dandelion. But I never knew they were edible. I thought you were taking your life in your own hands if you ate one. And like I said, I'm not a forager. I don't got foraging. That's just not me. If that's you guys, that's great. You do you, booze. Booze. You do you, booze. And I'll do me. Big Dog says, I did shrooms before I went to Carowinds? I don't know what Carowinds is. Is that a bar or something? One time I did I did not have a good time. Roller coasters were almost torture. Oh, is that an amusement park, I guess? Robin M., member for 5 months. We are all edible. Ha ha. Yeah, I suppose so. So, yeah. Just ask your friendly neighborhood cannibal. But thank you. Yippee again to Robin M. for being a member for 5 months, being a driver. Alrighty then. Thank you so much. Michael E. Riley, I got to go. You got me wanting to trip hard right now. Well, maintain, dude. Maintain. Fancy. I only like cheese pizza. I don't care what kind. Sometimes, I'll do that too. I'll just give me a nice cheese pizza and be completely happy. If it's good cheese, good and cheesy, yeah, I hear you. I mean, I eat other ones too, but I'm not only cheese, but sometimes I'll just get a cheese slice instead of the pepperoni or sausage or whatever. And if it's good, done well, it's delicious. Big dog, I like anchovies. You know what? I was never a fan of anchovies, but I've tried anchovies and they're not horrible. So they're not as horrible as they look. They look pretty horrible, but I will say they taste better than they look. Diane Russell, what's an algorithm? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just told that that's what you need to get into. Diane Russell, an algorithm is a set of step-by-step instructions designed to perform a specific task or solve a problem. It can be used in various fields, especially in computer programming, to process data and produce outputs. Thank you very much for the lesson in algorithms, Diane Russell. Mr. Bob Newell, Diane, he just always says that. That's his little joke. He says, "I still can't hear you." Because when I start the shows, I'm always like, "Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?" Yakety Smack says, "Good cheese is the key." Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Anyhow, we all have our own ways of doing pizzas, apparently. Like I said, I'm not real picky. There's some really, I do tend to go a little more to the thin crust type of pizzas, but there's been some very good, like thick crusts that I think are delicious too. So, anyhow, guys, I think talking about this food, I think I am feeling a little. I had pancakes just before the show, but I'm getting a little hungry again. So I think we're gonna have to end the show. I think I might go get some dandelion soup and make some dandelion tea and some dandelion tacos. I don't know. No, maybe I'll go get a pizza. I don't know. But I'm going to get something to eat. I'm getting kind of hungry. Thanks, everyone, for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the likes, the subscribes, the shares. We got to 110 likes with only 52 watching. So that's pretty amazing. I don't know what that does to the algorithm, but when twice as many people like your show that are watching it, I think that's got to be good for the algorithm, I think. I don't know. But I think I'm probably going to hit the road here. But before I go, I just want to say to everyone, thank you all for watching. Thanks you all for being here. And I also would like to thank everybody for being here. You guys are awesome. Today I'm feeling I was over in the corner eating some dandelion soup. And I don't know what it did to me, but it made me feel really calm and a much more loving personality. So I'm not going to come on here and cuss anybody out. I think it's the dandelion soup. And Trucker John, if you want some, I've got some left over. I'll share it with you. See, that's what the power of the dandelion. It makes you loving and caring and sharing and all that good stuff. So maybe it'll help my voice not be so gravelly. I don't know. Maybe not. But I just want to say, I love you guys. I love you guys. All right. Wow. That dandelion soup must be really. You see what it did to Tough Cookie? It turned him into a little love bunny. I've been eating dandelion soup forever. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I love dandelion soup, dandelion tea, dandelion wine. I've been doing it for years. If I had known that Trucker John wasn't into it, I would have turned him on to it a long time ago. I just assumed, that's why you shouldn't really assume. I guess that's the problem with assuming, is that you assume. So, but yeah, I've been totally into dandelions for like forever. In fact, I used to have just a regular beard, and the dandelions actually is what turned my beard and mustache purple. Now you would think it would turn yellow. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, why wouldn't he have like a yellow? But I don't know. It just, maybe the combination, the yellow, and because my beard used to be blue, and then the dandelions turned it purple. I don't know. It's just a weird thing, but yeah, I've been totally into dandelions forever. This is I just assumed that everyone was into it or knew about it. But yeah, look at there, Tough Cookie. See what it did to him? So mellowed his ass right out, didn't it? Anyhow, guys, just wanted to say hi real quick before we go. And yeah, we're gonna have a big dandelion party. It's gonna be a big rager. It's gonna be a big rager. Yeah, totally. All right, guys. We'll see you. All right. So if I had known those guys, they've been hoarding all the dandelions. Look at it, non-useful with a $10 super chat sticker thingamajigger. Thank you, non-useful. Yippee to you for that. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up and a heart. Says I washed my hands in the zinc, then got a cold beer from the ice box, sat back on the buck seat, back down on the holler, sipping a moonshine beer. Mother Nature is the greatest innovator. I hope I read that right. I don't know. Anyhow, guys. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. Darkly Yours says, you guys made me feel good today. Thanks. Well, you guys made me feel good. So it's reciprocal. And everyone in the chat, you guys make me feel good. And so can I last another 9 minutes? Well, we are over 2 hours now. So thanks, everyone. 115 likes. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right. That's the next scheduled live stream. I don't know if I'm going to do any impromptus or anything. I'm kind of busy with the taxi driving. Still learning my way there. I just found out that John from Las Vegas is actually a taxi driver. I didn't see him on the road, but he sent me an email at truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. That's the email for this page, for this channel. truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. That's how it is. And he told me that he's a taxi driver. So I didn't know that. So maybe I might run into John from Las Vegas out there sometime, and hopefully not literally. That's why I put like not literally run into each other, but like, you know what I mean. We might cross paths or something. I don't know. All right, guys. But as per usual, well, let me just do some thank yous real quick. We've got all the fan funding. Joy Eldridge started things off with a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Joy, if you're still here. Thanks so much. Fancy gifted a membership. Non-useful with 5 gifted memberships. Robin M is celebrating, I guess, a truckiversary. 5 months driver. Thank you, Robin M. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate you so much. And non-useful, closing things out here with a $10 super sticker or super chat. I guess that's a super chat. Thank you, non-useful. Yippee to all y'alls. Thank you so much. And like I said, thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys on the next one on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, right here. But as is my tradition, as is my custom, I always like to end the show with some words of wisdom. Here's one here. Don't knock the camera over or whatever, because it'll mess up the green screen. That's one. And then also get ready to write this down. Pen and paper, all that good stuff. Okay, here are you guys ready? Here's today's word of wisdom. Okay, guys, so just remember
well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire, shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free.